Hi, it's Sarah here. How's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic day today. The other day I got a really strong feeling that there was a part of humanity that had been stuck, that felt they were stuck, but they were actually ready to move on. And Spirit came forward and said, yep, that is the right time and we want you to make this video. It's about your history and how you've been stuck and gradually how you've gradually become unstuck. So I was born in the UK. I had a hard childhood and there were lots of childhood things that went on. I was raped twice as a child and also sexually abused as a child. I got my first boyfriend at age 17 and got pregnant because I thought, oh, it will never happen to me. Once you've been raped, you kind of have this, there's not a lot of self-love basically. You don't have much self-care, you don't have much self-love, there's so much judgment, and so you don't take care of yourself. And so I got pregnant and ended up having an abortion, which led to a whole lot more of self-judgment, etc. I got married in my early 20s. We had two lovely, incredible boys, and we moved to New Zealand, and I had about 15 years in New Zealand, living with my husband and my two boys. And my life was okay. I didn't have a fantastic relationship with my husband, but it was okay. The boys absolutely adored. But the trouble was that every time I tried to be happy, it was as though there was this band around my head, this tight band, which just squeezed, and I could feel this horrible energy on the top of my head. And so gradually I just gave up trying to be happy. Now, I've been started off in my spiritual life when I was about 20, and so I was constantly asking for help healing and doing lots of healing on myself and visiting different healers and having different readings, etc. But everything helped a little, but nothing helped a lot. I was still just going through the same symptoms over and over again. And then about 8 years ago, Yeshua Jesus came into my lounge when I was just sitting there and said that we want you to go on a journey. And my husband and I were kind of heading for a divorce at that time anyway, so I said okay. But obviously I was devastated with having to leave the two boys, and what he said was that you have a contract to leave them because in another life they'd been my parents and they'd left me, and so a soul needs to experience both sides. And so as their souls, I had agreed to leave them so they could heal that other life. So I had about 18 months traveling, then went back to New Zealand for 18 months, and then knew I had to finally leave once and for all. And during my travels, I met some of my soul group as well, which was really important for me. And so I came to Israel about 5 years ago, and I've been living in a forest out in nature for 5 years. And about 6 months ago, I lost everything in a fire. And so I've been living in a cave for the last 6 years. The last 6 months. So it's been an incredible adventure. It's been incredibly hard, physically, mentally, emotionally, but also amazing. So what I would do at the beginning was just spend a lot of time sitting in nature, and Spirit would be healing me. Then after a couple of years, they said, you're actually in quite a lot of trouble. I was wondering why we weren't actually progressing very far. I mean, I knew I had a lot of this childhood history, but I'd been having a lot of healing from Spirit for the last 8 years, and since I started on the journey. And I was wondering, well, why haven't we actually got very far? And what they told me was I'm actually doing a lot of healing for 5 other people. And I have their limiting beliefs, but worst of all was that they had made 3 incredibly damaging, limiting vows for eternity. And I was stuck with these vows, their belief system and these vows I was having to heal for them. One was a Bodhisattva vow, which basically is a way to enlightenment through suffering. The second one was a vow to believe I was a sinner forever. And the third one was to believe I was a demon forever. This one person had this horrific life where she thought she was a demon. And basically I was having to deal with all this stuff. And Spirit showed me that the whole vow, it was this big black triangle, but it was in my head and in my throat and in my heart. It's basically through a lot of my body. And so it's taken a very long time to actually clear these vows, because I'm having to clear the belief system of 5 other people who are all still alive at this time, and our consciousnesses are actually connected. And so I've had to raise my vibration to become the highest consciousness out of all of them, so that my beliefs in that there's no such things as sin, that the Bodhisattva vow is not real, is what Yeshua has told me. It has been made, but it actually is not a road to enlightenment, really. And that demons are not real. Our demons are our inner demons of guilt or shame. Or if you have a belief, everything's based on your belief system. If you had a belief that there were such things called demons that were black things, then they might be in your reality, but that's up to you whether you want that belief or not. You don't have to have that, and you don't have to have them in your reality. But basically, these 3 vows were seriously holding me back. Plus, I was doing so much healing, but healing everybody else as well. Then when I thought it couldn't get much worse, I found out that I was also healing a lot of their karma, and healing a lot of karma for Judas and Moses. Now, I wasn't Judas and Moses, but I had agreed, sometimes we agree as a soul, to do some karmic clearing for a place, some other people, our soul, our ancestors, etc. And so I was doing a lot of healing for Judas and Moses. Now, earlier on in my life in New Zealand, I'd actually been accused of something that I hadn't actually done. And I didn't realize at the time that was partly to do with the Judas. And then when I was been sitting in nature, I've had to go through floods, I've had to go through fires, I've had to go through 2 massive fasts, so a lot of famine. The first one was for 3 weeks and the second one was for 2 weeks, so 2 massive fasts. I've also had a time where I didn't have much money, so I couldn't afford to eat very well or eat very much, so there's been a lot of famine. I had to give up drinking water. I don't drink alcohol, but I had to give up drinking water right at the very beginning as part of this Moses clearing, and so I get my only liquids are from my food, which has been incredibly hard. I'm used to it now, and I can cope pretty much all year round. But it's still a little bit hard when the temperature goes above 32. I occasionally just sneak a little sip of water if I've been walking up the mountain, because I actually live on top of a mountain, and so I have to walk up the mountain in the heat. I occasionally have a little sip of water if I get to the top. But most of the time I can cope well with that. It's just when doing the fasts that it really doesn't work very well, and there's been a lot of thirst, so I've had to go through that. There's been plagues of ants, I would say, and pestilence. I think pestilence I put down to these vows, to these other beings that I'm trying to clear, because they are resistant to clearing these vows, and I'm having to push through their resistance. So I believe that that's the pestilence. So I've had so much stuff to deal with. And as I say, it's been incredibly challenging. And I think pretty much every day I say I'm going to quit and leave. But I'm still here, and I'm getting right near the end of this part of it. So this is part 1, and then I have part 2 to go through. However, we're nearly pushing through a lot of these vows, which Spirit has said, when I've gone through that, there'll be no more suffering after that. So that's fantastic. So what you have to know, even if you feel incredibly stuck, you cannot possibly be more stuck than I was. I felt like I was standing in a plastic container or a cage, and I couldn't push through. Whichever way I turned, like forward, to the sides, it felt like there was a barrier there and I couldn't push through it. So what I'm telling you is that you can get there. Now, it does take patience, it takes resilience, it takes time, and it takes help. The help can be free. You don't have to go and see other healers. You don't have to have readings. All you need is spirit. So when I say spirit, I mean God. I mean the Ascended Masters, Yeshua, Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Buddha, Krishna, Ganesh, whoever it is that you worship. Free healing, they want to help you. They want to give you as much healing as they can. They want to really help you. You're not a burden. They will give you healing 24/7. Yeshua gives me healing 24/7. Okay, so you can ask as much as you want, and then you can just basically give them permission. Just give them permission to keep healing you, so you don't have to ask every day. You can just give them permission just to heal you as much as you can. And just keep choosing. What you need to do is keep choosing. I choose for the highest possibilities in my life with ease, grace, and Godspeed. I choose the highest timeline, and I intend and give permission for God or whoever to come and heal me and help me get what it is that I need to get, what it is that I want to have, how I want to be. I want to be my true self, and I'm asking for help to be my true self. Because a lot of the times we tend to think we are a human, and we see everything from the human perspective. Then we might come to the realization that we are the soul inside the body. And then when we push through that, we actually realize that we are actually we are just the soul. We are still in spirit, and the body is inside us. So we are massive. We are infinite. We are God in human form. The soul is what we are, and the body is inside us. And when you raise your vibration and you have that awareness, it means that you can see things from a much higher perspective. When you see things from a much higher perspective, it means you are a lot less judgmental on everybody else and mainly on yourself. And also you can forgive easily, and you can become a state of love and joy and have peace. Spirit gave me this sensation of knowing that when you know only love is real, what it feels like. And there was this incredible inner peace. It was just the most amazing sensation. It only lasted about 30 seconds, but it was absolutely incredible. So all you need to do is you need to just keep asking for help and give permission for Spirit to help you, and give yourself permission to receive. If we have a lot of guilt or shame, then we kind of cut down our ability to receive. So give yourself permission to receive. And sometimes it helps if you can just sit there and open your arms out wide, or just imagine you're opening your arms out wide and just say, I give myself permission to receive. And what you'll find is as you release more and more, then you will receive more and more. So when you start, it might be quite slow. It's a gradual unwinding process. You might feel it's a little slow and not much is happening, but then slowly it begins to gain momentum. As you release more and more, you open your ability to receive more. And as you start to receive more and heal more, then you'll knock down those heart walls, all those emotions that you've stuck around your physical heart and your heart chakra and your higher heart, which is here, in an effort to keep yourself safe and protected. And once you've knocking those walls down, you can start to feel a lot more love coming from you. And you can use that love coming from you to heal yourself. You just send it to other parts of your body. And what you send out comes back. So if you start to put your awareness down into your heart center in the middle of your chest and send love out to the planet, send love out to people, that love's going to come back to you. And you will find that love, if you put it in like a container around you, will heal you and also protect you. When we don't have much love for ourselves, much self-love, we kind of leave ourselves open. We leave ourselves open to psychic attack from other people, and we also tend to become doormats and take on other people's stuff really easily to help heal them, because we don't feel we have much self-worth. And so once you have that love coming out, you will feel much more protected, and you will start to heal even quicker. So it's really important to start using your heart light as well. You can get messages from your body, you can get messages from your inner child, you can get messages from your soul, you can get messages from your higher self, you can receive messages from your guides. Your guides can be archangels, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, etc. You can have different guides. And so all you need to do is just spend 5 minutes a day, just sit somewhere quietly and say to yourself, sit there with a pen and paper, what does my soul want to tell me today? and then just sit there and write anything that comes into your head, and then just keep practicing over and over again. I find it really easy to hear my inner child. I have a really good conversation with my inner child. They tell me so much of what is going on and so much of what I need to do to heal. And so really that's come around by spending a lot of time sitting quietly and just putting my awareness into my body and just sending love to different parts of my body. That's how I've managed to have this rapport with my inner child. You also need to spend a lot of time not a lot of time, but spend some time every day doing some positive affirmations. I am strong and capable. I am peaceful and calm. I am smart and intelligent. I am gifted and talented. I am God in human form. I am divine. I'm pure. I'm clean. I'm worthy. I am enough. I am lovable. I am loved. I am deserving. I am creative. I am forgiveness, etc. Make a list and say these affirmations over again. Have them on a board written down somewhere so you can read them, write them, etc. Have them recorded on your phone so you can play them at night. Lots of different ways you can do your affirmations. Also use gratitude. Gratitude is a great way for opening up your heart center. Your heart chakra loves gratitude. So if you can spend a couple of minutes every day, or just when you're out and about, I'm really grateful for having this fresh water. I'm really grateful to be able to eat this food. I'm really grateful to go out and buy these clothes. I'm really grateful to have a nice bed. I'm really grateful for this. I'm really grateful for this beautiful flower. Anything that you can be grateful for. I'm really grateful for my partner. I'm really grateful for my children. Thank you for giving my children. So use lots of gratitude and thanks as well. You need to just surrender to source too. So often we put up a lot of resistance. We don't feel that we're worthy and deserving of being healed. And so we need to learn just to surrender. And often we will put up a little bit of fight. So just keep intending to surrender. I surrender to source. I surrender to God, the highest possibilities for my life. With Ease, Grace and Godspeed, I surrender to God, my highest timeline. And then have an expectation of what you want to happen. Have an end goal and make it a big goal. It can be the most amazing goal. Make it a big goal. And then just leave it in God's hands. You're going to try and create it. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But surrender it over to God and say, this is what I would really love. I have expectations that I'm going to get it. But then let go, let go of the insistence of it. And let go of how it's going to appear in your life. Because often we have in our mind the path how we're going to get there, and we're going to be given this way, and often we are given what we want in a completely different way, and often God will try and give us something even better. So you have to be open to how God wants to give it to you or what God wants to give you. So have that expectation. So what you need to do if you want to create something, so you're going to have your goal in mind. I say make it a fantastic goal. What you need to do is follow your passion to get there. Have this as your end goal. Follow your passion, whatever it is that you're passionate about. It might be you're passionate about speaking, about painting, about teaching children, whatever your passion is. Use your passion in a way to get to your end goal. And what you need to do is think about your end goal. Think about you've already got it, and then be really, really excited about it. Excitement is the highest vibration you can have. Be really joyful about it. Be really excited about it. And it's not just the visualizing, and visualize you've got it, but it's not the visualization so much. It is the sensation of the excitement. It is the feeling of joy that you've actually got there. So use that as a tool, and it should be something that you do every day as well. Have faith and trust in God. It's seriously, seriously important. Everything that you see around you is based on your belief system. So if you have complete, utter faith and utter trust in God to bring this to you, and you believe that you are worthy and deserving of it, and believe that you are going to get it, then you will. It's not to say in what time. It might be in weeks, it might be years, it might be decades, it might not even be in this life. You might get it in another life. However, you will get it eventually. As long as you really believe that you will get it, then you will eventually get it. So just know that everything that you're experiencing, we're creating with our mind. Nothing that we see or hear is really real. We're as though we're living in a dream. We're playing a game. It's like a simulation. It's like if you were having one of those virtual reality headsets on. Basically, it's similar to that. And so everything that you believe in is what you are experiencing. So if you believe there is only love, if you believe there is only joy, eventually that's what you will eventually experience. It does take time. So give yourself time. You need to give yourself permission. Set aside so many minutes a day for gratitude, so many minutes a day for your doing your I am affirmations, etc. So many minutes a day for your creating, if you can. Give yourself, before you go to bed, ask for the archangels or for source or the ascended masters, etc., to heal you, because when you're asleep, it's a great time. You're asleep, for 7-8 hours lying on a bed, you're not going anywhere. It's a great time for spirit to come and heal you. Just be aware sometimes that your arms and legs might jerk, and they'll give it that to you in a dream, though you're walking down the stairs and you miss a step and your leg jerks. That's you actually releasing stuck emotional energy from your body. So just be prepared for that if they're doing lots of healing on you. Okay, one more thing. Lastly, just keep asking Source, how may I serve? How may I serve? What my inner children have told me is that when you say that sentence, how may I serve, that they actually have to obey it. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case for everyone, but it's certainly the case for my inner children. And so I know I have several different paths coming up, and I keep trying to choose the highest one, but there's a lot of resistance to it. But by keep repeating the sentence, how may I serve, my inner children are all having to help me get that highest path. So keep asking, how may I serve? And what you're asking is, how may I serve humanity? How may God work through me so that I can do my divine mission? Okay, so I just wanted to give you some inspiration. I wanted to inspire you to make a start, to have a go, because it's lots of little small steps. It leads up to big things happening. It's very unlikely that you're going to start off and do a massive quantum leap right at the very beginning, but it might be after a few years you do a massive quantum leap. Okay, so just small steps lead to big things happening. So I just wanted to say, nobody is stuck, and spirit can do anything. God can do anything. Nobody is seriously stuck. If I can do it, it means anybody can. And they said I was one of the most stuck people on the planet. So I was having to wade through made through the most stuff, and in a short period. That's why it's been so incredibly intense for me. I'm not suggesting everybody can take 5 years off and go and sit on a mountain, but obviously if you can, it's fantastic. Okay, best of luck. Much love and many blessings from my heart to yours.